Respiration. In this PowerPoint, we'll learn how your body gets what it needs from the air that surrounds you. Your respiratory system is a system of passageways and a system that allows for gas exchange to occur between your body and the environment that you live in. If you see the picture above, you could see your lungs and where they are in relation to your heart. You can see that they're surrounded by your rib cage. First, to take in air from your surrounding environment, you breathe in air through your nose. Then the air moves to a nasal cavity where the air is filtered, warmed, and moistened. After you take in air through your nose and the air moves through your nasal cavity, you can see to the picture to the left that the air then goes through your pharynx and then the larynx and then down into the trachea. The trachea is a tube that is kept open by partial cartilage rings, and if you look to the picture to the right, you could see the cartilage rings as you look down the trachea. The trachea is also lined with cilia, which are hair-like structures, and these structures work to trap particles that are in the air that you breathe and transport them back to the pharynx so that they can be exported out of your body. After the air moves through the trachea, the air goes down and splits into your two different lungs. The tubes that branch from the trachea into your two lungs are called bronchi. The bronchi are mucous membrane lined tubes, and they are also ringed with cartilage. So in the last slide we saw the bronchioles, which we said ended in alveoli. The alveoli are the site of gas exchange, and they are little air sacs that are surrounded by capillaries. So let's talk a little bit more about what exactly is being exchanged between the alveoli and the blood capillaries that surround them. If you see in the picture, the alveoli are the grape-shaped things that are surrounded by the capillaries. And if you remember when we did cellular respiration, your cells needed oxygen and released carbon dioxide and water and energy, and that energy is what is used by your body to move and perform all the different functions that you need to perform. So your bloodstream helps you get that oxygen to the different cells that are performing cellular respiration, and it helps carry away the carbon dioxide and the water that are released after cellular respiration is complete. So the process of diffusion, if you remember, diffusion is when molecules move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. So diffusion happens between the alveoli and the capillaries that surround the alveoli, and the carbon dioxide moves from an area of higher concentration, so in the bloodstream, into the alveoli so that it can be breathed out of the body. Oxygen does the opposite. Oxygen comes in from the air that you're breathing, and since there's a higher concentration of oxygen in the air than there is in your bloodstream, the oxygen molecules will diffuse into your bloodstream and be delivered to all the different cells that are performing cellular respiration. So how does your body know when to breathe? You don't have to think about breathing. Your brain kind of does that for you. So if you remember the word homeostasis, we talked about homeostasis when we talked about photosynthesis, and we said that it was that balance that your body needs to keep of certain molecules and other things to stay healthy. So in terms of the respiration system, homeostasis, you need to keep that balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in your body. So To make all of this work, your body has a feedback system. So when the concentration of carbon dioxide in the blood gets too high, the medulla in your brain, you can see the medulla in the picture on the page, has chemical receptors that sense this higher level of carbon dioxide and send messages to the breathing center and controls your breathing rate in that way. So again, this is another instance where you can see the circulatory system and the respiratory systems interacting, and also a connection between the respiratory system and the nervous system, and the brain is part of your nervous system interacting. So your lungs are a passive elastic organ that respond to the movements of your diaphragm and your rib cage. If you see to the right hand side, you can see what your diaphragm looks like and where it's located. So it's beneath your lungs and it's in your chest cavity. And below, you can see that the movement of the diaphragm helps to determine what size or how much volume there is in your chest cavity, and that kind of controls your breathing rate. So pressure changes or changes in the volume of your chest cavity cause air to move in and out of the lungs, which is what you call breathing, and some people call ventilation. So if you see in the picture below, you can see that when the diaphragm moves down, there's more space inside of your chest cavity for air to move in and your lungs to expand. And then when the diaphragm moves up, then there's less room in your chest cavity and it causes the air to be pushed out. So the movement of your diaphragm and your chest cavity are what causes or what helps you breathe. The diaphragm is kind of like a muscle, so when it contracts, it's moving down. So that first picture to the left-hand side is when it is contracted, and when it relaxes, it moves up and you breathe out. So that's how breathing works.